The terrible insecurities that Gwen Stefani harbors are finally brought to light by her speech. Fans adore Gwen and wish for her to be content in life. However, it appears that she, like everyone else, is plagued by feelings of insecurity. Due to the fact that she has expressed this, the voice coach has exposed herself to her audience. If you continue reading, you will learn more about the things that she is uncertain about. Opinions of the fans and the coach of The Voice. This season of The Voice features a fresh group of coaches on the panel. Michael Bublé, Reba McEntire, Gwen Stefani, and Snoop Dogg performed at the event. Following Gwen's comeback, fans were filled with anxiety. In the earlier seasons of the show, there were some viewers who did not like her. On the other hand, it appears that she is doing a good job. After that, the audience was taken aback as they witnessed her sending home one of the most gifted vocalists still in the competition. They were curious as to whether or not Gwen had any regrets about making that decision. On the other hand, she is doing a good job and is leading her team to victory in the same way that the other coaches are. Regarding her insecurities, Gwen Stefani has broken her silence. A brand new album by Gwen Stefani has just recently launched. The topic was discussed on Drew Barrymore's show, where she appeared. Nevertheless, she also disclosed her insecurities during the course of the broadcast. As I was looking back at all of the photographs, I was attempting to capture both the outward and the inward beauty that I possess. I was considering the 8th grade at the time. It's almost as if I'm looking at myself in the mirror at the gym all by myself and thought to myself, am I cute? Can't say for sure. Are you aware of the moment when you are attempting to determine whether or not you are? The same insecurities are shared by a large number of people. Nevertheless, she redirected it into a celebration of her husband, Blake Shelton of Shelton. She reflected on historical photographs in which she had a sense of beauty. The moment that Blake began to love me was the perfect moment. The reason I wanted to make a song about that is that when you experience love for the very first time, it is a reflection of who you are. You are able to recognize yourself in them. A tribute to Blake is included on her new album, and fans adore it. It would appear that Gwen was self-conscious about the way she appeared. A great number of people are affected by these insecurities. Despite this, she managed to transform it into an emotional praise to Blake himself. When they first met, she was feeling the most beautiful she had ever felt, and he began to love her. Fans were thrilled to hear this. At the beginning of this year, there were whispers making the rounds that the two were not doing well. Gwen's most recent love ballads, on the other hand, give the opposite impression. What are your thoughts on the insecurities that she has? Could you identify with her? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. We are very interested in hearing your opinions. Gwen Stefani is no stranger to the spotlight. As a global music icon, fashion mogul, and entrepreneur, she's long been celebrated for her bold persona, unmistakable style, and empowering messages. From the early days of No Doubt to her successful solo career, Stefani has always been a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. But despite her outward confidence, she's now opening up about a side of herself that few have seen before, the insecurity she's faced throughout her career and life. In a recent interview, Stefani revealed the shocking struggles with self-doubt and insecurity that have haunted her, even as she became one of the most recognized faces in pop culture. Her honesty about these personal battles has resonated with many of her fans, sparking a deeper conversation about the pressures of fame, body image, and mental health in the entertainment industry. Stefani's decision to break her silence on these issues has provided a rare glimpse into the complex emotions behind her public persona. The pressure of perfection. For many, Gwen Stefani's image has always been synonymous with perfection. Whether it's her platinum blonde hair, flawless skin, or the meticulous fashion choices that have made her a style icon, Stefani has often been seen as an embodiment of beauty and success. But as she explains, this image didn't come without a cost. I've always felt like I had to be perfect, Stefani admits in her interview. In the public eye, there's this constant pressure to look a certain way, act a certain way, and be this flawless person. It's exhausting, and I've definitely had moments where I felt like I wasn't enough. Despite her success, Stefani has never been immune to the societal pressures that often come with being a public figure. From her early days in No Doubt, where she was often scrutinized for her appearance and personality, to her rise as a solo artist, Stefani has constantly had to navigate the fine line between staying true to herself and meeting the expectations of her fans and the media. Stefani also opened up about the imposter syndrome she's experienced throughout her career, a feeling of being unworthy of her success or not measuring up to others in her industry. Even though I had this huge success and was achieving things that I'd always dreamed of, there were times when I felt like I didn't belong. Like, who am I to be here? She confesses. I think a lot of women feel that way. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others and feeling like we're not doing enough. The struggle with body image. One of the most poignant revelations from Stefani's interview was her ongoing battle with body image issues. Despite being widely regarded as a style icon and being celebrated for her bold fashion choices, Stefani has never been immune to the toxic beauty standards that pervade the entertainment industry. From a young age, she struggled with her appearance, especially in the early years of her career. I grew up in a time when being thin was everything, Stefani recalls. I would look at myself in the mirror and think, I'm not thin enough, I'm not pretty enough. And I think a lot of women go through that. But when you're in the public eye, it's magnified even more. There's this pressure to look perfect all the time. Her insecurities about her body were further exacerbated by the media, who often criticized her appearance. I would read the tabloids and they'd say things like, she's too skinny, or she's too curvy, or she's got too much makeup on, Stefani says. It's like, no matter what I did, I wasn't going to meet everyone's standards. And that took a toll on me. In the face of this, Stefani admits to using extreme measures to maintain her appearance, including dieting and exercising to the point of exhaustion. I would push myself to the limit. I would starve myself or work out for hours, thinking that was the only way to feel good about myself, she shares. But it was never enough. I was never happy with the way I looked. However, over time, Stefani began to shift her perspective on body image, realizing that true happiness doesn't come from meeting unrealistic standards. It wasn't until I started getting older and realizing that beauty is more than just what you look like on the outside that I started to heal, she says. I learned to love myself for who I am, not for how I look. This journey towards self-acceptance was not easy. It involved unlearning years of ingrained beliefs about beauty and worth. But with time, Stefani learned to embrace her imperfections, choosing to focus on her inner strength rather than external validation. I think we all have to stop trying to live up to this impossible standard and start appreciating the unique things that make us who we are, she says. For me, it's about loving myself in a deeper way than just how I look. The toll of fame. While Stefani's career has brought her immense success and adoration from fans worldwide, it has also come with its own set of challenges. One of the most significant aspects of fame that Stefani has struggled with is the constant invasion of her privacy. As a public figure, Stefani has had to contend with the scrutiny of the media and the public, often feeling like her personal life was under a microscope. There's always someone watching, always someone judging, she says. And that's a huge burden to carry. It's hard to find peace when you feel like you're being judged for every move you make. This pressure is magnified by the demands of constantly being in the public eye. You're expected to always be on, always be performing, always be perfect, Stefani explains. But behind the scenes, you're just a human being. You're going through the same struggles as everyone else, but because you're famous, you feel like you can't show it. As a result, Stefani often found herself suppressing her emotions and pushing through difficult moments without seeking help. I've definitely had moments where I felt overwhelmed, where I felt like I couldn't do it anymore, she admits. But I kept going because I didn't want to let people down. I didn't want to show weakness. However, Stefani now acknowledges the importance of mental health and the need for self-care. I've learned that it's okay to not be okay, she says. It's okay to take a step back and take care of yourself. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and we need to start treating it that way. Learning to love the real Gwen. In her interview, Stefani reflects on the journey of self-discovery and the growth she's experienced over the years. Despite the pressures of fame and the constant self-doubt, Stefani has come to a place of self-acceptance. She credits her family, her faith, and her inner circle of friends for helping her through some of her darkest moments. "I've had to surround myself with people who lift me up and remind me of who I really am," she says. "There's been a lot of times where I've doubted myself, but they've been there to help me see that I'm enough just as I am." Stefani also credits her role as a mother as a key factor in her journey towards self-love. "Becoming a mom has changed me in so many ways," she says. "It's helped me see life in a different light. My kids have taught me to appreciate the small things and to focus on what really matters." In addition, Stefani has found solace in her creative work. "Music has always been a way for me to express myself," she explains. "It's been my therapy. I've poured all of my emotions into my songs, and that's helped me understand myself better. It's been a way for me to heal." Through her music, Stefani has also found a way to connect with her fans on a deeper level. Her songs, many of which are deeply personal, have resonated with listeners who have faced similar struggles. Stefani's openness about her insecurities has made her more relatable than ever, and her fans have expressed their gratitude for her vulnerability. "I've had so many women come up to me and say, 'Thank you for being real,'" she shares. "That means everything to me. It's not about being perfect, it's about being authentic." The impact of her story. Stefani's decision to open up about her insecurities has made a lasting impact on her fans and the public. In a world where celebrities are often expected to maintain a flawless image, Stefani's willingness to share her struggles has humanized her in a way that few public figures ever do. Her vulnerability has sparked important conversations about the pressures of fame, body image, and mental health. In particular, her story has resonated with women, many of whom face similar struggles with self-doubt and insecurity. By sharing her experiences, Stefani has encouraged others to embrace their imperfections and prioritize their mental health. "I hope that by sharing my story, I can help someone else who's going through the same thing," she says. "I want people to know that it's okay to not have everything figured out, and it's okay to ask for help. We're all in this together." Stefani's courage in confronting her insecurities head-on serves as a reminder that even the most successful people face moments of doubt. But through self-reflection, growth, and support, it's possible to overcome those challenges and emerge stronger. As she continues her career, Stefani remains committed to being true to herself.